Hey, it's Robert from Sierra Landscape Management. So in this video, we're going to show you how to build a freestanding dry stack retaining wall. That's right, no mortar, no concrete, just sheer technique and gravity. We're using some Pennsylvania bluestone, and we're building these walls 2 feet tall and 2 feet wide with a 0 batter. Normally a dry stack retaining wall might have some batter, but this design is calling for 0 batter. And we're going to walk you through step by step all that's involved. So stay with us. Alright, so Steve went ahead and got the base course down. You can take a look and see how the base course, we got all the gravel in between that's locking it in. I want you to take note of these stones here. Running in, running in. It's a common error that people run them side to side. And then what happens is if it gets undermined, it'll want to rock out. So you're always running the stones, even when you're building the wall, front to back as much as possible. And you can see that in these here as we move up the wall here. Look at this end that we got. So they're all running front to back, not the width wise. And it takes longer to build a wall that way. It doesn't cover as much square footage. But it makes the wall a lot stronger. Look at this corner. Look at the interlock that we have on these stones here. Nice and tight. And then you can start to see we started parting the wall. This is actually what locks the wall together. It's the most important part of the wall, is you got these little pieces right in there and wedges. What you do is you take bits and pieces, the little shards that you shave off the wall when you're hammering it, and try to find a good fit. And what that's going to do is that's going to keep the stones from wiggling around, sliding in and out. Sometimes you get stones where they need a little support underneath, and you look for these flat stones, right? These flat stones you're going to run, they're called shims. You're going to want to make sure they support that stone, so that stone, when it gets weight on it, isn't going to want to rock around. Alright, so this is a wall that we just started today. When we're creating these walls, we tend to use about 1 ton for 30 face feet. So that wall in the back there, that wall there is 60 face feet. And we use 2 pallets of stone. Each pallet weighs about 2,500 to 3,000 pounds. Now in New Jersey, those are Pennsylvania bluestone pallets, and we pay about $300 for each of those pallets, just to give you an idea of how much material you need. Now if you're building a retaining wall that's up against the slope, you don't need a face on both sides. You're going to use about half the amount of material, but you're also going to use gravel as your backfill instead of the harding. So stay tuned, because we're going to keep rocking and rolling with this thing, build out both corners, and get this wall completed. So this particular wall, we're at the end of day 2. I'm going to go ahead and show you where we're at. So we got our corner here. You see it's 2 feet tall, 2 feet wide. We got our nice crisp edges, but the most important part is the interlock, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So you want to avoid is what's called a running bond. So you see how we have our stacks here, and then we got a stone that bridges that. We have 2 stones. We have a stone that bridges that, a supporting stone underneath. That's what we want to see. Now when you have these large stones here, there's no way around that. But what you wouldn't want to do is just continue running that up. We see that a lot. And that's a very common point of failure, because the interlock of the stones is what gives it its supporting strength. So anytime you're building a dry stack retaining wall, or really a retaining wall of any type, you want to interlock the pieces as much as reasonably possible. Alright, so what you're looking at here is the completed wall. Guys have built this wall behind me in 4 days. This wall is 2 feet high, 2 feet wide, and 17 feet long. It's a mix of Pennsylvania heavy wall stone and Pennsylvania thin wall select, which they're both Pennsylvania brownstones, commonly referred to as Fieldstone. Come on pallets, pallet runs, I don't know, about 300 bucks. And for this job we used 4 pallets for this wall and 2.5 for the other. So if you look at the corners, you'll see we got plenty of beef there. You want to look at the joints, see how they're all staggered. There's a lot of interlock there. Now this wall, what's unique about this wall is it's a complete dry stone installation. This wall is sturdy, it's going to stand the test of the time, and it has no concrete or mortar inside of it. This wall was fabricated by hand through the use of chisels and rock hammers under the hands of our trained rock artists. So what's really great about this wall is it's going to flex if the earth should ever move, and most importantly, the homeowner knows that it's done in a true, authentic dry stone method.